Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Monir El Azzouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we will do the February 2021 review. But before to start, how many days until the EU MDR is starting? So let's listen to that.
So Monir, there's 112 days left until MDR either happens or gets postponed. Who knows?
Thank you, Michelle. So I hope you are not too late. If you need any support, so don't hesitate to call us and we'll try to find how we can help you within this journey because EU MDR is really a difficult one. So what we will do today is to start first with the announcement that was made on January from the EU Commission regarding the remote audits. So it was something that we talked during the last episodes regarding the Team NB position papers, all the information about the fact that if we do nothing, we'll be late because mainly due to the COVID-19 crisis, notified bodies were not able to perform on-site audit because of travel restrictions mainly. We talked also about that during episodes with NSAI, for example, with Caroline Doré-Gerhardt. So mainly here today, this month, the EU Commission announced that remote audit was possible now for a first EU MDR certification. But if you now read specifically the text, there is a lot of exceptional situations that have to happen to do that. So the document number is Commission Notice 2021/C8/01. I will put anyway the links on the show notes. But if you read this document, mainly what you will understand is the fact that first, this is just a temporary measure. It's not something that will be happening for a long time. Unless it's the COVID-19 is taking many years to recover the situation. So mainly, it's only during the COVID-19 crisis. It's also only for manufacturers that manufacture some products that can be creating some health situation, some patient situation. So it's really a high risk product or high needed product for the healthcare system. So mainly if your product is not really helping regarding a life-threatening disease or something like that, so most likely you are not qualified for this remote audit. It will be also a review case by case done by notified bodies. The remote audit also will be authorized, but as soon as possible, on-site audit should be executed. So it means as soon as the crisis is over, then immediately the notified body will have to do the on-site audit to confirm that everything is fine. You have to document everything. So why this, why that? So really to justify why you are authorizing this remote audit. And all this will be done under the supervision of the competent authorities. So it means that it's not a notified body decision to do that. The notified body will ask the authorization to the competent authority, which will inform the EU Commission that this is used for this type of audit. So there will be a lot of box to tick and people to talk to authorize a remote audit. So what we thought at the beginning that it will be like remote audit authorized for everybody, we see here now that no, it's not for everybody. And what we can also read is the blog post of Eric Volbrecht, so our famous lawyer. So Eric created a blog post about this topic, and on this blog, he made the comparison also with the medicinal products area, so which is also an healthcare business. And here we can see that it's completely different, that the medicinal area is authorizing remote audit. They call that, distant assessment. So what they are saying is that you can do that, but as soon as you do that on the GMP certificate that you are issuing, you have to write the certificate has been granted on the basis of a distant assessment. So mainly it is authorized and you can do it. So you see here that it's true healthcare business or healthcare industry, and one is not treated the same as the other, which is also something that maybe should be also considered by the EU Commission related to that. After the announcement about this remote audit situation, so Team NB also is now starting to issue a document, an harmonized document for this information, and we are waiting for that, I hope within the next few days. So after that, I decided to create a new survey, which is so under all the circumstances that we talked about just before. Do you think that the EU Commission made a good decision? So the survey says, so is it a good decision under those circumstances? Yes, if accepted for all the manufacturers. Yes, only for critical devices. So the decision made related to only critical devices is good. No, this will have no impact, mainly because it's only for critical devices. So mainly, maybe a small part of the industry will be really impacted by that, but not a lot. Or no at all, because on-site audit is really the key elements that should be used for this evaluation. So you can go on the show notes and you will see the survey and you can just answer. And yeah, I will publish the information during the next podcast episode. Okay, we have also planned this week a remote audit talk on my LinkedIn Live. So this week on Friday, we'll have a LinkedIn Live where we'll talk specifically about this situation. Okay. Last month, we had also some surveys that I initiated and just wanted to show you the results of those surveys. So the first one was about MDR and IVDR date of application. So will it be postponed like what we had last year? So the answers were at 44% no, nothing will be postponed, and 33% yes, all of them will be postponed. So 319 votes. So mainly knowing now the decision from the EU Commission to authorize remote audits. So we suppose that the date of application will not be postponed because it was like, or you postpone the date or you authorize remote audits. So now it's like the authorized remote audits under the circumstances that we talked about before. So most likely it's not an option now to postpone, but I mean, we don't know. So we'll see when it will happen, when the date of application will be really close, then we'll understand if there is a chance for postponement or not. But for now, don't consider postponement. Really try to work on your products and on your files so that you are ready for the date of application. Or if your certificate is expiring later, so you can also wait until the expiration of your certificate. And I have made a video, we'll talk about that at the end, about the timeline for EU MDR. We had also another survey that we initiated last month, which is about Swixit and Turksit. So mainly because of Swixit and Turksit, so it means that all the notified bodies that are within those two countries will lose their accreditation to be notified bodies, because a notified body should be located in the European Union. And if the agreements between Switzerland and Turkey is not signed for EU MDR, then normally those notified bodies will lose their accreditation. But what does it mean for the certificates that those notified bodies issued? Will this continue to be valid? So 53% says no, those certificates are not valid anymore as soon as they lost their accreditation. So then those manufacturers cannot sell their products anymore in the European Union. But 41% said also yes, it is still valid. So 104 votes. So mainly we will hear maybe an official answer from the EU Commission about that. But for now, normally, same as for Brexit, if a notified body lost their accreditation, so also the certificate are not valid anymore, because mainly a certificate is valid only if a notified body is accredited. So then if it is not accredited, it's not valid. In that case, if you are part of the member state located in the European Union, you can use the orphaned procedure. So it's mainly something we talked also during the podcast. So mainly it is the member state, the competent authority, that will take the role of the notified body while you are looking for another one. But yeah, you have really to not try to use this if possible. So try to use really something else. Next point is about the US. So if you are looking for a US recognized standard, so mainly there is this database that is existing, and last month, so in December, so the US updated their recognized consensus standard in the database. So there is a big list that was included now with some standard like the 6601 some numbers that were included, mainly because there is a new version, so 2020 version, that was issued there. So you can go, the link is on the show notes, and you can see which standards are updated for the US. Then for Canada, so in Canada they have created the guidance related to incident reporting, so mainly vigilance reporting. So you can see this guidance is explaining to you exactly how you should execute how you should inform the Canada Health Authority about any incident. When I read it, so mainly what is mentioned is the fact that you have just to send an email with all the information that are required within the information that should be provided to the Health Canada. It's different from the Europe. So Europe has a form that you have to fill. Here, no, you have just to look at all the requirements and answer those requirements and send this information to an email. And this email will send you an acknowledgement of receipt to say that you are in a good shape for that. So same, you can go also on the show notes and you will see the link for the reporting. Okay, so let's now talk about trainings. So as I'm saying to you since a long time, so training is really important for your organization. So you have to be ready for any of that. So here, what I wanted to show to you is mainly some trainings that are existing. So there is the QMed Academy made by LeanRAQA. So you can go on this website that's also on the show notes, and you can see a lot of trainings that are available. Some regarding clinical evaluation report, how to write that. Some also assessment about classification of your products, etc. So you can go and you can check some of the elements that LeanRAQA is providing to you, which is, I think, a great site also for reviewing some of the trainings that you are maybe interested about. Then, if you want to understand more, Udamed. So Richard Julian is also providing some trainings. So you can go to udamed.eu, and there is a list of the trainings that are available. Mainly in February, March, he has some sessions that are available. So everybody is happy of those trainings and has really a great understanding after that about how to apply Udamed. So mainly if you have a huge list of products with a big portfolio, I think this training can help you really to organize the transfer of all your data within the Udamed database in a more easy base, more easily. So mainly the training made by Richard is also for non-technical people, so it's also something that can be great for you. Then we have QNIC trainings. So QNIC is also announcing all the list of trainings that they have this year. So you can go to QNICgroup.com/trainings. So I will also put the links on the show notes so that you can check which training they have. And for me, so we have the Green Belt certification program for EU MDR. So we just finalized the 8th edition. So with around 25 students. And yeah, it was really successful. So now I'm just planning the next session. So the next session for February will be on the 22nd to 26th, and the next session for on March will be from the 22nd to 26th. So don't hesitate to go to the website. So school.easymedicaldevice.com/GB. So you can see there all the sessions that are open for now regarding EU MDR. So as I said, it's really important for you to get trained, your team or your colleagues. So don't hesitate to share those information with them if they want really to be trained on the EU MDR for the 2017-745. Okay, so now notified bodies. So is there any new notified body on the NANDO list? So yes, there is SGS Fimco Oy, which is from Finland, which is the newcomer on the list. So congratulations, SGS Fimco Oy, for being accredited for EU MDR. No new for IVDR. So let's count now. For MDR, we have 18 notified bodies, and for IVDR, we have 4 notified bodies. So yeah, it's not a lot in comparison to what we were waiting for already last year, which was 20 notified bodies. So now it's not much more. So yeah, if you have no notified body for now, so I mean, you have really to put it as a priority to contact your notified body to try to see which one can help you and which one has some dates available. I have made a cartoon, so I will just maybe show that now, where we talk about the fact that somebody is ready for his audit, and then he calls his notified body, and the notified body gives him a date in 2025. So mainly because he should have called earlier. So call earlier if you are really ready for a new MDR certification. Don't wait. Even if your certificate expires later after date of application, don't wait. Call them now. So just to already organize some talk with them and some organize maybe the application so that it can be sent at the right time. If you are in the UK now, so we talked about that last time also, so there is some approved bodies. So I try to see if there is any update in terms of approved bodies within the UK. So apparently there is still no update. So we have still 3 notified bodies that are approved, which is BSI, SGS, and UL. So, but when you look more carefully on those approved bodies, so there is only 2 of those approved bodies that can certify your medical devices under the UKCA. There is only 1 that can certify it if you are an AIMD, so active implantable medical device, which is BSI, and there is 3 of them, so that can do the IVD, in vitro diagnostic. So I think it's really important that you are understanding that, because CE marking in the UK is approved, is accepted until the 30th of June 2023, and after that you need to apply for UKCA. So you have to call one of those notified bodies so that they can provide you UKCA. So maybe it's also a good thing to not wait until 30th of June 2023, but to try to call them also earlier. And from the 1st of January 2021, as we said already, you need a UK representative, a UK responsible person. So Easy Medical Device is able to provide you this service. So don't hesitate also to call us in case you need that. So we are already helping a lot of companies to be registered within the MHRA. So don't hesitate to send us an email at ukrep@easymedicaldevice.com, ukrep@easymedicaldevice.com, and then we can try to help you. In case you also look for information about authorized representative in Europe this time, so don't hesitate also to send me an email at info@easymedicaldevice.com, info@easymedicaldevice.com. Okay, so usually we have a segment that is called guidance and standards. So I don't have anything to talk about that. So there was no MDCG guidance, no major standard that were issued. So mainly one thing that I will try to prepare for next time is the standard. So the standard about biocompatibility that was updated. So it's something I'm working on now, but I hope to provide you more details next time, because I think it's really a major update on this one. But out of that, there is no more guidance or standards that I can show you here. So last segment is about Easy Medical Device podcast. So what happened within Easy Medical Device? So the last podcast were about the registration of your products in Israel. So we had Liat Nadel from LS Marketing and Registration in Israel that was helping us to understand how you can register your medical device in Israel and what are maybe the restrictions, how they can help you also to do that. So don't hesitate to look at that if you have a project to register your medical device in Israel. Then we had an interesting podcast which was about the certification, the MDR certification of an artificial intelligence software. So this time it was with Leon Dorn from iDance. I think a lot of people commented on this podcast because I think it helped a lot. We understand that there is a lot of startups now that are starting to use artificial intelligence for their medical device software. So I think this podcast can really help you to understand what is the journey that this company went through to place their podcast or their medical devices on the market. Then the last one was with Ivan Perez Chamorro from MedBoard. So MedBoard is a software, is a platform that is helping you to work on your regulatory intelligence. So anything that you need about medical device in terms of regulatory intelligence, you can find that on MedBoard. And Ivan Perez Chamorro came and helped us to understand how to make your post-marketing surveillance report more easily, because within the MedBoard platform, there is a tool now available to help you to gather a lot of information in just one click of a button. So it's something that can save you some hours, if I can say, of research. So don't hesitate to go to the platform, so podcast.easymedicaldevice.com to see all those episodes. But you can also look at that directly on the show notes. And lastly, I have made a LinkedIn Live, which is about what is the EU MDR timeline. So mainly, I had a lot of questions about when my product should be EU MDR compliant, when should I apply for EU MDR, etc. So then I decided to create this LinkedIn Live just to explain to you quickly how you have to, when you should apply EU MDR. For example, if you are a class 1 product, or if you are a class 1 product, but with the EU MDR, it is up classified. So then what is the rule here, etc., etc. So this is something that you can find on my YouTube channel, but I also put the links on the show notes. Okay, so it was the end for today. I think we have covered everything that happened and will happen also within the EU medical device industry. So don't hesitate also to put a comment if you have any question. I will try to answer to that on my YouTube channel, on LinkedIn, or on the podcast platform also. If you liked also what I'm doing, so please share that also with your colleagues. Don't hesitate to put a like on the YouTube channel and to subscribe also. So on the YouTube channel, we reach now the 5,000 mark. So mainly we have 5,000 subscribers, which is really a great achievement. So really thank you for listening to my channel. Thank you for all the messages that you are sending to me. So I'm really appreciating that. So thank you for that. And if you need any support for EU MDR or for any other organization or regulation, don't hesitate to contact Easy Medical Device. We are here to help you. We can provide you consulting, we can provide you training, we can provide you coaching, we can provide you services also for, as I've said, the UK rep or authorized representative. So don't hesitate. We are here really to help you to reach the market in a compliant way. Okay, so I wish you a nice day and goodbye.